여러분, 이제 곧 Piace che sorrido pure. Hi everyone, I am Tara, aka Spirit Mother, and I would like to welcome you all back to my channel on YouTube, Spirit to Spirit, Within Self, on TikTok, 1974 Enlightened Soul, and I'm also live on my Facebook. I am actually live today, also on my account had been suspended. Apparently I stepped out of line with reality, right? And getting back to, if you're new to my channel, I always suggest that people go and read the description on my YouTube channel to get a better understanding of what it is that I've unfolded in my content on the channel. It's a whole lot of different things. A lot of it has to do with my life experiences. Even just talking to people, not to put them in shame or put them in a light or what have you, but to put the situation in light. Because the sad part of, if they're unable to tell their story, then somebody else telling that person's story without using names. You know, sometimes I come on here and will use names, but it's that part of asking what it got to in order for me to bring that name up, to use that person's name. I like this song, I Lose Control, because I do lose control sometimes. Sometimes I look like a crazy lady or a madman. Today, I'm talking about why do most relationships fail? There's a lot of differences of opinions of why relationships fail. But one of the biggest ones is because there's a lack of communication. And then, yes, the lack of communication, you're lacking intimacy. I'm talking more like when you have communication and you have the right intimacy, then the intimacy comes from the communication itself, whether it's physical touching or not. Because your brain is very powerful, your thought is very powerful, and if you're both having the same feelings of expression, then your relationship is bound to go better. I haven't gotten in one since 2012 because I haven't found that right balance within a relationship to know that it's even on both sides. I didn't feel like I was with the right person. So because I didn't feel like I was the right person, then when that happens, your mind wanders somewhere else. And it feels like it's missing something. But it's usually what it's missing. They're looking for what they're missing in the relationships. I know from experience. And that's why I never got in one, because I haven't found that part of me that I'm looking for. If you look like if you were raised in a family where there wasn't a lot of intimacy, and I'm not talking about sexual behavior, I'm talking about intimacy, where each person was on the same wave and they supported each other in everything that they did. That's a relationship. And that's the kind of relationships that we use as examples, our home life relationships. So if something in the home, if it appears to be normal in our upbringing, then when we get out there in other forms of relationships, then we're going to go by the relationship that we knew. So we keep repeating that part of it. I know to some, because I'm feeling it within my body, it's an irritant. Well, if I'm irritating you because of what I'm talking about, then you can always go back out the same way. Just saying. Relationships of any kind are difficult for anyone and everyone. And anyone that says that all their relationships are hunky dory, I would love to sit and meet with you. I'm not saying that it's not to a point that you can feel comfortable in, but it still produces more of an irritant because it has that missing space. What is the missing space? Because you're not talking about it. Because I know when I was in my course, this is more of a instructor student relationship. And to this day, it still irritates me. But it's the part that I feel sorry for the person. See, they teach us etiquette. Okay, they tell you you're supposed to kiss ass in order to have the job. So if your employer, your teacher, your instructor, or your partner, or your friend or parent or anything is treating you like shit, and you call it out, whether it be in public, they say two wrongs don't make it right. But it's that part of, sometimes in a relationship, you have to give somebody that bruised ego, because I've had a bruised ego. And I'm glad that I had a bruised ego because it showed me that, we don't know everything and we can learn from each other. But in order to learn from one another, you have to be able to communicate and listen to them. You see some adults, I live around one, and whenever they don't want to hear something, they act like a little kid and they go, like, I can't hear you. Blah, blah, blah. Like, how old are you? But it's that part of, you wonder why your relationship goes down the tubes. We're supposed to be bringing people closer together, but there are some that they say, no, you got to go away. Yes, you got to get your distance from toxicity, from toxic people. There are some people that you you if they're not leaving your life, they're not it's not happening for a reason, because they're trying to communicate something to one another, but they don't quite know how to do it. And trust comes into it. I'm going to be honest. A lot of the reason that I come on here is because I'm trying to push them, not in a way to like say get moving, but more along the lines is, when you release truth, some call it, to go to church or whatever. have you confession. But who should you be really confessing to? Should you be confessing to yourself with the person? It's part of communication. I use Once Upon a Time. I like that show because it reminds me so much of life, the way life is. Everybody's living whether they realize it or not, you're living a double, it's like you're living a double life. On there, it has Zelina, okay, she's the Wicked Witch. And the last season, they had it so like they lost memory, and she was getting married. And when the spell went, her, it didn't feel like a curse because she was experiencing something she never had. So to her, it wasn't a curse, whether it wasn't a real reality or not. It was because she still loved the person, and that person loved her. But it was the part of, would he forgive her for her past and say, well, that doesn't matter. But when we do that, we keep throwing it, the past, in each other's faces, and then telling each other to get over the past, get over it, get over it. Why don't you just get over it? It's like, well, how do I get over it if you keep throwing it at me? Is that so you could say, just get over it? And you say you're not a narcissist? This is the spirit to spirit. And that spirit knows who you're talking to because there's many of them. I actually went yesterday to take some stuff back because I got a few things for my great nieces and nephews. I was taking it back, and I ended up going to the bookstore because I'm looking for a really nice pen for my dad because I got him one of those tell me your story books. You know, it's worth it. I mean, whether he lies in the story or not, or he tells a story and I don't get the book until he's dead, but I get it first. So, but I actually went to the bookstore yesterday. I have a variety of different books. I'm happy with them because this is part of my relationship. This is my relationship to the infinite creator. It's like encyclopedia of spirits. I did start looking randomly. I just take and I'd open it up, and I found shit. Oh, that's my receipt. And I come across. Oh, no way. When I opened it up, I opened up to Tarot. Tarot 1, Tarot 2, Tarot Black, Tarot Blue, Tarot Green, Tarot Orange, Tarot Red, Tarot White, Tarot Yellow. So I didn't read them yet, but I'm going to. And it's because it resonates with my name because it's my name. So am I a ghost? Woo! Where's my sheet now? Oh, wait. You sit up at the eh? So I'm just going to do that. So I got this. And when I was standing there, like I went to move books, and both of these books came out. So I got them, and I was at the Hallmark store, and I was down the aisle, and I looked up the aisle because as I looked up the aisle, I seen it was like something flew off of the shelf and it landed. I just left it there. No, I didn't pick it up to see what it was because, it was just being told that, you know, it was there. Okay? It was some kind of Christmas thing. It seemed had like a little slack type thing, but I didn't pick it up and see. And this morning I get up to put all my Christmas decorations down. Questa data è super molto passare no. So now this is what okay, maybe I can't speak for men, like all men, and maybe I can't speak for all women, okay? But for men say they want to feel needed. But do they really want to? Because I'll tell you right now, when you add like when you need help, they're very reluctant to help. Or when somebody talks to me, they get angry because oh boy, everybody talks to me about their problems. Well, because you give off that perception that you actually want to listen. And you wonder why we get irritated. Talking about domestic violence. That's in quite a few relationships right now. Whether it's the woman being violent or the man being violent, or in a same-sex relationship, both masculine or feminine. But that's another part of a relationship because it's two-spirited. And that could be another reason why relationships don't work, because people don't understand the two-spirited. That some people are able to take on both a masculine role and feminine role as needed. Yeah, I got my brother today. That's okay. It was just Christmas, so I've been eating a lot of candy cane ice cream. So, diamo kalana, sano tagare pukutie. Shula kisala karamil kututu. Mikitu purikare sara, sula todo et purio de minushri sarata. I know in my relationships, I was missing the intimacy. There was no real mind connection. The heart connection wasn't so much like the heart connection was there, but it wasn't there. It was just kind of going through the motions because I felt like I had to be in a relationship because I felt lonely. That's that part you can be lonely even when you're in a relationship. And some will say, well, how are you lonely? You're there all the time. No, somebody physically being here with you or and mentally being here with you. There's a big difference. And that's why there's so many relationships that fail because of that lack of understanding. Because if you think of it as a spirit to spirit, two spirited, then both aspects of your spirit, your masculine and your feminine, will know how to communicate with itself, with you as a whole, and also with the other person, because you'll be able to communicate with both sides of that person, because you'll know whether they're in their masculine at the moment or whether they're in their feminine at the moment. Because whether people realize it or not, we are going back. And right now, you see women standing up more so than men. Why is that? I just heard because women are trying to make a statement. Is it really? Because I see men out there doing it too. So it's not because women want to make a statement. It's because men feel that if women are standing up and doing a man's job, they feel emasculated, which they should. They should feel flattered. I'm not saying like competitions, like going in races and swimming or boxing matches or anything, of putting like the opposite sex in women, like in women in men in women's competitions because of the way they identify. You want to do that where all parties are equal and wanting to do it, then put in its own division and make it fair. But see, nobody wants to think the common sense part of that. I'm not being ignorant. You always got to be fighting over who's where and who's what. And no wonder relationships don't last, mine included. So it's like, you know, for millenniums, it's been to perceive to be man against woman, masculine against feminine, man against machine, man against time. It's always going to be a relationship that you have with yourself. I feel that in here right now. It's like, hey. So if I get in a moment where I'm just kind of sitting and not saying anything, it's because it's working through and it's happening internally. Go ahead, someone has said that a lot of people like I asked somebody like, do you know what two spirited is? Well, it's about like gays and lesbians and transgender. No, it's not it. People think it is, but it's that part of not looking at the physical person, but it's what you see on a spirit level. because you don't know what others are seeing when they look at us. We just know what we see when we look in the mirror. But maybe they don't see it. People say, well, how could they not see it if you're seeing it in the mirror? Because you're not looking through their eyes and them seeing your soul. Because they're seeing beyond the real surface in a lot of cases. And you get people like glaring at me and wondering why. People looking at you and smiling and you're wondering why. Well, that's because of that relationship between those two spirits. If each person in the relationship is on a different, they're not seeing eye to eye. Is that part of why is this so long? Why don't you communicate with one another and find out what you're both really trying to say? Because there's been times where, like, I've been having conversations and saying the same thing, but the person's arguing. It's like, I'm saying the same thing you are. I'm just wording it differently. So that's the part of, just because we word it differently doesn't mean we're not saying the same thing. We're just not hearing it the same way, so it doesn't sound like the same thing. It's like beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Right, Fart Man? I did call you. I have a relationship with him. It's Nanny Fur Baby. It's like sometimes, like, get outside. But he does go outside, but I don't tell him to go outside. But I have raised my voice to him a few times. That's when he's being a little arsehole. Aren't you? Hey, see? He knows. I'm looking at him and I just started thinking of the Maine Coon. Maine Coon? He's a big ass shithead. Like, as you can tell, like, he's a fairly good sized cat. I don't know. He said, "What up, Buena?" He said, "I think." Don't get your hair all over me. Hey, push you to the brand. You do it. Well, then don't. I will throw you on the floor. I tried giving him a bone because I thought maybe he liked chewing on bones. But I guess it's just my arm. Want to go for a fly through the air? It's that light. I keep seeing the same thing with the bird flying by. I just heard, do you want to be in a relationship? I'd like to be. Do I need? Kasi ko dapat to kaya. Do I need to? No. So that's why I'm not just going to get into any relationship. It's not because I have my heart closed, because my heart is very much, it sees. It sees people's genuine intentions, and it sees like it may be a good intention at one point, but then it can switch. And I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm just not everyone's cup of tea. Because, who a lot of people don't want someone around who's going to be able to like feel them so quickly. It's not because I don't want to or understand, but people when I say something, a lot of people think that I'm being judgmental, but it's that I'm seeing their head, and a lot of people don't want to admit to that. So that's why I know that you know it's not something that I do intentionally. It's just me. It's that it's my heart. I'm here to help people heal who want healing. So I struggle with wanting to be in any form of relationship. There's a part of a guard up, but it's not because my heart's not open. It's because I'm not going to allow myself to go down the same path. So, you know, if it means that well, I can't be an old spinster because I was married once. So I can't be an old spinster. What do I want in a relationship? True intimacy. Sure to do. No, I don't want any committed relationship. I want to be able to have my own. And I don't have to depend on anybody. Nobody should have to depend on me. And that's another thing that we sh- we struggle with in society today with relationships. Family unit's not there a lot because both parents are always working, or both parents are mostly working. and the kids are in school, which there's no real downtime. People think everything is about work, 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 learn, learn, learn. Well, what are you learning, first off? Are you learning anything that is going to benefit you in the real world? Because let's say you have to have grade 12 where you have to graduate to get into certain courses, and most things that people go into college or university for, there's nothing really taught in school. They don't teach you like it's the part of when people get frustrated or upset, teaching them how to calm down, relax, bring themselves back down, and be able to learn how to communicate. They don't have that. They don't teach you like they say, well, your parents can teach you how to cook. Seriously, I'm generation like I was born in like the 70s and up into the 80s, and our parents never taught us that. It's a lot of us because our parents were working and we were left to fend for ourselves and take care of our children. I didn't have to, but my older sister had to. Our parents didn't know where we were, which people say, oh, well, okay. No, was it always good? No, because bad shit happened. And we had our immediate our circle, but none of us would really go tell our parents anything that happened. Probably then more kids went missing too. It wasn't because the parents didn't care. We learned how to fend for ourselves, and we didn't learn appropriate, full-on, healthy relationships. Now we're just so bitter. Like I hear, like it's like men shooting women down and women shooting men down and women dividing off, and it's like what? Like seriously, your partner should be cheering you on and helping you move forward, listening to you, talking with you, not gaslighting you and then saying that you're the one gaslighting them. I'm talking about relationships. If you're new to my channel, I always suggest that people go in and read the description of my YouTube channel, Spirit Teaches Going Within Self, in order to get a better understanding of what my channel brings forward. I'm getting right now that Spirit just wants to hear a channel, and whatever comes out, comes out. O como hana hane sana hasu tuture. Sala ka anu ko para na nakita ko rin, pero sala ko yung kure. Kaya malaki ko kuri sa taray, pero kuri yung shule sa Se tu podia tota, pero tuli tekee sitä se kryper gräta reser un gran tutui che la paremo lui che la poteva essere sì risolta di sicuro dai di solo che sta la tuturi e come to con mi chiesa dai e sulla precedente la comunque tu dai yeah something new came in the channel yep e questo la chiesa la che tu molto picchiata tu cosa kilala como malaki na kaya makatahan ng kusoyan ano man nakano kataporita tayo suto pushi sika at tum musta tayo well yeah there's a fury anger right now in the there's a sure can explain like what it is you're witnessing for me. It's more of like it's all going past my normal self and it's right over me. Like I can understand it inside to know that like I'm like experiencing it, but to be able to read in different ways, I can do that, but it comes out in different languages. Elehana kanakita rasatupurite. No, no. Yeah, um, we say or when we have ADD, okay, and I say that ADD, if you switch the A and D, the dad, yeah, there's a lot like the energy just it changed. More of a up in this area. Like Coresta, Domus, che sono together. It's going making more authority. Comunque la mia uscire sarà sì, tutto perché comunque tutto ritotto. It's like I got split personalities right now, but something going on here. Spirit to spirit. Teachings going in south. Kaya naman ito kung napagalato, rusto. Kaya aawak ko. Pero ito kuskuli pa kaya sa. Dito ko rin ito pre. Wala ka nga nga daw mo ito ko. Wala ka tayo tutusok ko ito tayo eh. Dito. Kaya ako kuskuli sa rin. Kota. Si tuto pre. Kinulo ito. Raya ito. Lasa rin ito. Si spirit to spirit. Kinos ko lang kisa naman ito. Tuto ito kaya pati kaman ko ito. Sita. Ito ko rin. Spirit to spirit, these spirit, there's something there on. Feel to sieta. This can get trippy. Kana kutu ko yung suto eh. Kaya no. Gusto nagsisuri para aras tarata. Ekuta burit. Kito burit risi rito mo dahil situation sore mikakoroto. Iskimo lakat burit. Uye. Suto sore siye. Kito koro ya. Kimo koto polisi tumuto. Irite ya. Acho no extremo, autoritaire, che avremmo lo strumento. Yeah, excellent. What I'm like experiencing right now is this relationship. It goes deep and it goes way back. And it was nothing to do with a sexual relationship. But right. Yeah, they got double set up. Oh, correct. Right now, I'm experiencing a lot of splitting out. That's why it's like kind of, I'm sort of, I'm like slight. Like just like he's like going, you know, si totally and it totally so totally should I say oh, it's like it's the spinnies in your head almost. It's like it's the phrase of wrapping your head around. it's like when it's within us and we're holding on to it and it keeps trying to come out and it push it down. But when you allow it to just come up and play out the way it needs to play out, you know, then you kind of work through the piece of a lot easier. And that's why I do a lot of that because it's not that I'm trying to sort it out. I'm allowing it to sort itself out because when you try to sort it out, on the timer, when you try to sort it out yourself in that sense, you make a whole other mess sometimes because it's like you can hold it and set. Is that part of almost surrendering to what you're experiencing? Forms of forms of galactic signing. Yes, I'm moving energy. Yes, so in some language, like it could be in languages, what have you, I channel through the spirit. I know that I know what it is that I'm doing, but to explain it right at this moment, it always comes out more in different languages because I know that's where a lot of my ancestral line felt. It was in the old languages. Could be signing old, like from Old Norse just to ancient languages. This is like it's pulling the side to side. When I pull that, like if you do this and you're connected to your body, you'll actually feel kind of a shift, but it's that part of getting into learning how to be in a meditative state, whenever you need to be in that meditative state, but people not even knowing that you're in that meditative state. That's how good you get. Like shift, man. When I'm doing this a lot, like when I'm speaking, it's the motions, it's the movement, it's the sounds. It's just when you're doing it, you're moving your own, you're moving your own energies, your own chakras. And I do have lover. I can see it, and it's like, holy shit, man! But I gotta learn to be like not so self conscious. Like I said, I, I did splurge a little over Christmas, and I do eat a lot of I eat a lot of ads, but I haven't been getting no one. So that's on me. Kailan ko is the treadmill upstairs. What I should do is there's a little. Well, no, I don't want to do that because I was gonna say there's a little futon thing here that I said I could get rid of, but I don't want to do that because I have like my kids will have that in there. But there's a treadmill here, but I want to be able to just go out and walk. I could walk around the pond, just like walking around. It's almost like going around the track. And I had ooh, that was it. Like that's when stuff like that happens, it's because my chakras are. Excuse me, a minute. I get to the trouble. Yeah, pull up my trousers and get rid of my flab. I actually like it's. I've had it since I was 15. It's very stretchy. I can take it and pull it right out, and then I'll go like that with it. But I've had it since I was 15 because of my first pregnancy. So I had a lot of extra skin. So kerämuutoksia ehdotettu ristiriita tulevia sellaisia. Someone who's like an adult but knows how to be a kid about funny jokes, not dark humor jokes, not big funny jokes. I just heard, we used to say that, like I just heard, I just heard somebody say a fart new joke. Well, I'll be honest, some of my farts somebody would joke because they're nasty, but aren't they all? And it's like, oh my gosh, like, did she really just say that? But it's normal. You've got to be with somebody who is like accepting of natural body functions. And if somebody gets uptight because somebody lets a little puff go and it like doesn't smell like roses, somebody just said that some smell, yep, some smell sweet. But now we're talking about farts. That's all. Because other consciousness, the other beings and what have you, they laugh at us when we say the word fart. Or they laugh when we cuss. So they say. But is it them who's really cussing? And we just have to wear that cussing because they like it so much? But I'm not. I'm kidding, but I'm not at the same time. There is something that I'm not sure because I did post it on my Facebook. We're talking about aliens now, okay? They're our family too. I'm just getting something up. I'm just getting a video that I took. I don't know if it was the night before New Year's Eve, but I'll know here in a minute. Quello mattina il secondo pre così sulla casa lui. Io. Okay. Okay. Now, this was outside my okay. Shit. Okay. Yeah. You see that? Now watch it. Seeing that? I'm gonna play it because I don't know who my camera because it's blinking and shifting. Should have left my music on. Just watch. It's was out my bedroom window. It's out there every night. They say this is a drone. It's not a drone. If you're wondering, I'm showing a video. Watch this. See, it's like closer. It's like it's closer, and it's shaped like a mushroom, or not a mushroom, marshmallow. See? I'm not adjusting anything. It's okay. So here's my lips. Um, I did that the other night, and I seen Santa Claus Christmas Day too, and the spaceship, and the snowman, and a flying saucer. It was pretty freaking weird, but I was awake for it, and that was a strange thing to lose. Yeah, do I need my meds? Nope. No, it's like that song Alice in Wonderland. When you wake up, you know the mushrooms in Alice in Wonderland. They make it big, they make it small. Well, when people take mushrooms, how do they feel with mushrooms? Ito po Cristo, eh. Yeah, yeah. When YouTube put strikes on my account and like uh, stopped it for like a week or so, it was because I was talking about sexual assault and abuse. But yet they'll put on movies that are about rape and everything like that, showing about rape and stuff like that. But because an everyday person talks about it, Why is that taboo? Because it's like a relationship, like not a physical relationship, but you can have a relationship to people who actually relate, and it's to help one another talk. It's like a group. But I just kind of like I bring things forward, but you're a group within yourself. The first relationship you need to have is with some like I caught that because others say the first relationship you need to have is with God. Well, what is the separation of the relationship between you and God? It's that part of not having a relationship with yourself, right? If you're not taking care of yourself, then you're left thinking, well, because people say it, well, why does God allow suffering? God doesn't. People do. And it's in every relationship. So you hear people on there mocking others on here. Like I could say something about like she does YouTube and like I don't know if she does TikTok, but you see some of the videos on TikTok sometimes. Women, it's like if you feel that you need a man, then you're not whole. Because it's not about feeling like you need someone. Being with someone is a choice. It's not a need or necessity, it's a choice. Sometimes we stay in different relationships, whether it's work related or home related or educational related, because there's something that's there that you like. It's like some people will stay at a job because um, well, you get every Friday off and or every second Friday off. You wouldn't have it anywhere else. It's that part of really. I'm not in a relationship. Mm. I'm in a living arrangement. And I say that because it's that part of when I leave something, I actually want to leave for good. And I don't like to give a bunch of chances in the same place over and over. Oh yeah, there's a lot of people, like a lot of people that have things that they want to say, and they don't say it for fear of the way it's going to come out. Well, ask yourself, why is it going? Why do you feel it's going to come out that way? And if you can't, give them up a letter, get it to them. It's their choice whether they read it or not, but you made a step. I quick said, right now, I feel like it's like there's fighting. There's it's just like an internal rage, but it's all throughout the body. It's like you get that feeling like your foot wants to kick, or you just want to swing at something, but you're not experiencing. That's what I'm like. That's what I'm experiencing through my body. It's like that's happening, but I'm not doing it. It's like I'm connected with somebody who is doing it. Right? Yeah, there's fear in it. Yeah. It's it happens to people because of the lack of communication. Is what happens. And that just becomes a fury. In relationships where it becomes physical violence, verbal violence. And see, people say they didn't mean what they say. Thing is, you mean what you say, and that's the reason why it's coming out because it's something that never got worked through. That's why it's coming out. I think I've only ever told one person that I hate it, besides my looking in the mirror at myself. And that was my ex-husband. I may have said it to my mom once back a long time ago. But it's that part of like when I say I hate or if I said I hate or I can't stand you. Those are things that I used to say to myself. And those are things that I've seen other people say to themselves. Because the ones that say they don't talk in a third party, yeah, you do. Because I've heard others do it. They would say, like, they'd be talking to themselves, but they'd say to them, because it's a part of them that's saying it to them. But I've never said, like, my name and then said something. Because when that happens, you're experiencing a major internal struggle. It's the part that is the fight for your soul, it's the fight for your spirit, it's the fight for your heart and mind and body. But it's a fight with yourself in many ways. And that's the relationship between your masculine and feminine. Kaya itong isala tutuloy sa kisala tuloy tuloy tuloy. Mhm. Chissà quanto stai seguito. See, I don't work for the program matrix or whatever. I don't believe it's that I'm working for anyone as I do work with them. I allow myself to hear them, to know what it is that they're trying to voice, bring forward. And, sometimes it feels like aggressive. And people say love and light, well, these, what we're dealing with right now is it's facing the darkness to come to the light, bringing the darkness to light. So the darkest of dark deserve to experience light. And those are all those darknesses within each of us. I know it was parts of my essence, spirit, what have you, ancestral, that, you know, back in 2020 when this all started happening to me for the second time, I felt like it was like those parts of my own ancestors trying to tear me apart because they didn't want their own truth coming out because it would implicate them. And everybody wants to be good for someone, right? You always know energy shifts and the pompous ass enters the room because maybe their self-esteem is so low they have to ask about length and growth. That's exactly the reason why most women don't move. And maybe that's how you grew up. See, it's not judging someone. Saying seriously, what the fuck's your problem? A woman, most women don't give two shits with the size of a man's penis because it's not the size of the clit that does the trick. It's rubbing the dog that does the dog. So I guess then get that reset. I was told that, like when you're on this journey, you're going to get the ones that are going to come in and poke fun. Some will even act like immature adolescent boys. And I will be honest, my channel is not for anyone under the age of 18. I didn't go as far as 20, maybe even further, because then I'm always mature. Same as fun. My channel is not for everyone, and it's that part of before you run with something, know exactly what it is that you're running with it, what can about, and like bring things forward, ask questions. Don't take what being, all it is, but your heart will tell you truth. When you feel good, the person's being honest. When you feel not so good, they're being dishonest. It's like the pros and cons. I cannot stand, like, it's the word when, like, if you're around the woman and you're using the word talk, shit like that, you're not, like, seriously, people like that. But I don't find it very attractive. Maybe some do. And that's women who use the same words too. And I'd have to say, when there's when we talk like that, it's because of how we grew up. And then you hear our kids saying it, oh, don't talk like that, Susie. It's like, well, you do. I seen a 3-year-old give us the finger and tell us to go fuck ourselves. Because that's how the mother was talking. Not for shame. It's all in where we're brought up, how we're brought up. But as we get older, it is on us of whether we're going to continue like it. And it carries into our relationships. Because my past relationship carried into mine. Because that's what they say. We're talking about unemployment, it's me. But we are actually our own problems because we don't get out of our own way. Yeah, my daughter better not kill me for the money. She's only killing me for $100, maybe not even that. I don't even have that. But when you listen to some songs, you know that it's coming from different. It's like it's coming from different dimensions. So don't take it to heart because I know sometimes I hear them and it's just like turn off. But it's hear it out. because, why are we hearing it? Certain songs, like, I can feel my vibration go down. So it's like, okay, sit through it, but talk through it. Because if it's a message, then it's referring to something that you went through or experienced. And they're trying to talk with you through spirit, and this is the way of getting the message. Kind of like when I come forward, I bring different things forward. It's like you always want to feel the messages, right? But I can resonate with a lot of this stuff that I bring forward because where I've gone through it myself, that's why it comes forward. They're making me spit it out. It's like, get it out, get it out, stop keeping it in there. In relationship cuddling, holding hands. I was there yesterday and I seen this elderly couple. They were going and they were holding hands. And yeah, I like that. Whenever you go out now, I just see, and I'm not in a relationship, but I do, like it happens with my ex-husband. I will always, we never walk, like people aren't walking together for the most part. It's like they're dragging each other. But if I feel like I'm being drugged or I feel like something, I'll just take and switch it up, move to a different direction, move to a different space. Because no one is a second class citizen. So when I see some of this stuff on YouTube and what have you, saying, oh, warning, warning, last chance for this and last. No, it's like you're supposed to be here alleviating anxiety and stress, but then you're saying, warning, warning. Oh, if you're not one of the 1%, you're not going to see this. It's like, there's a good way to get viewers, right? I'm not being rude about it. I'm just saying it's a good way to get viewers. So, as the word warning causes so much anxiety within people. And that's why that's used because it's not used as a proper warning. It's like the boy who cried wolf, warning, 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 and then when it really does happen, nobody believes him. But I know in one of my relationships, they got to sort shit out. They got to make things right on my name. And that song, you don't like me, you don't love me anymore. Well, if it's a message to me, do you think I don't already know? and he probably never did love me. So if that song gets played and it's a message, because to me, I don't care if they don't love me. I still care about them, but I know that I still want the best for them, even if somebody doesn't like me. Yeah, right now I'm just like here, there, and with this because I feel a lot in the throat chakra. Like, seriously, there's a lot of it. There's a lot right here. Eh, The Schumann resonance has been hectic. Like right now, we're getting a snowstorm. I didn't know there was supposed to be a snowstorm. Let's take a look at the cave. Mm. So, where's your thing? I should go get my crazy carpet. Oh no, because right now I think it'd be too. I have to be careful because sometimes you get going down and you get kind of head for the pond. And okay, yeah, oh, I couldn't show you anyways. 'Cause my tablet. But yeah, it's like very, very odd. Gosh, very odd energy. Get that funny. Electronics are slow right now. Що ж про маму? Говорити та не сідай. Like, I've been watching the Schumann resonance, and wow. See, I find I have lots of books, and sometimes I find it I struggle to read, not because I can't read. This is a thing, a post here. If you think your English is good, I challenge you to write any word that starts with T and ends with T. And I said in my mind, I got ticked because, and I know it like that was like um, tote works. Um, this is this is just human movement right now. The white is the light codes. That's why like this is why I'm feeling really strange and it's like I just wanna see, I know that my person will be fluent. They'll be, they'll understand. And they won't mock me. They won't be jealous. Like I say jealous because I can be authentic and some people are unable to do that. But I encourage people, support. It's what both people are looking for within a relationship. I'll say people because it doesn't matter if man, woman, masculine, feminine, gay, lesbian, transgender, however you refer. I just say please don't relate your body. You're experiencing too screwed. It's okay. Some of this music is really. I'm gonna go back to binge watching my Once Upon a Time again. Some people's kids. That comment was like, and if that was somebody out drinking and driving, and one of your loved ones or your children got hit by that drunk driver, how would you feel? But obviously, there's some people who don't give a shit, or you just have a mask and a facade on, and you want to be a troll in someone else's channel because you seek attention. Sounds like a few people I know. The snow looks beautiful. The sun did try to come, but we I'm gonna leave it for now. No, I'm wrapping my head around something because somebody's saying about Skinwalker. Okay, much the same as spirit jumpers. And shapeshifters. You know, I've had quite a few visions of this. It's like when you see them transform. So when others try to cause fear within you because of the words they use, it's supernatural. Because that's what it is. It's like when you look at Little Red Riding Hood, okay? That's Little Red Riding Hood. Said about the grandma, Red Riding Hood come home to see Helen in the bed, right? There's a wolf. The wolf was Red Riding Hood, and Red Riding Hood did not know how to control or understand her abilities. When she became able, then she was she was in control of when she wanted to shift and when she didn't. Then there was Jekyll and Hyde. Jekyll was the alter ego of Hyde. Maybe Jekyll represents the wolf Jekyll. But see, Jekyll fell in love with the same woman that Hyde was in love with, but in the series, Hyde pushed her out the window because she was in love with his alter, alter, alter ego, Jekyll. And when you watch Once Upon a Time, well, let's see. The dark one was Rumpelstiltskin, Mr. Gold, Mr. Crocodile. He had so many different forms of who he was. So I guess that almost Skinwalker. So he just said he had to feed. No wonder there's a war between animals and humans. Feeding time because you're more connected to others' energy. So, I hear like when you become more aware, all of your senses, you start hearing voices. You're actually hearing, you're starting to hear spirit dimensions beings. What's that part of I'm not with you and I start speaking in different languages or moving or anything and I'm being myself, you don't like it, you don't need to be around me. If you're embarrassed, be embarrassed for yourself because I'm not embarrassed for me. And nor should the people that's with the person be embarrassed for them or themselves. They should be checked. And I'm not talking about destroying things. I'm talking about just being. The reason why it comes out the way it does in some people is because they were never allowed to be a kid. Or sometimes kids are coddled too much. I mean, they're told, oh, don't go up the tree, you might fall. Seriously? Don't step off the doorstep. You might fall off. So I drew a card. It says, man is always more than know himself. Thus, his accomplishments will always come as a surprise to him. But it works for either gender. So, to believe a thing is possible is to make it so. To laugh often and much, to win the respect of intelligent people and the affection of children, to leave the world a better place, to know even one life has breathed easier because of you. This is to have succeeded. Lately, they've been getting me to do this. Can I look at me? Okay, so what does the universe know? The note is the note. Fun. Oh, it won't come out. I mean, it just flies. Okay, so okay, one flipped over. Ooh, geez, really? Is that my hair or yours? Okay, hello. Who's good to Who's good to So the one that flipped over is spiritual union, and deception and envy. So deception and envy and a spiritual union. And I have a book, Divine Rivals. So when you're experiencing, like when you're, that's what I said about relationships, okay? Being honest, communication. So we'll go to deception and envy, 7. And planning out. Deception and envy. To be forewarned is to be forearmed. This card comes at a time when individuals or conditions aren't what they appear to be. How well do you really know the people around you? Are they telling you everything you need to know? In business, make sure you gather all the necessary information so that you're aware and and understand all the facts before continuing. You've worked hard. Don't let others take from you what is rightfully yours. Unfortunately, some people may be envious of your accomplishments. This card also represents a time of sudden and unexpected changes, or when plans that you're undertaking may not turn out exactly the way you envisioned. Have a plan B as a fallback strategy to prevent future problems. Use this card as a reminder. Prepared, right? I didn't say this. I was just talking about relationships. It's like no communication, what have you. Okay, it's finding it out for yourself, using your heart and knowing when it's right and it's wrong. And right now, I'm feeling that strangulation. Quédate sobre. I wonder how many times I said it. Prepare for this. Spiritual union. This card deals with relationships involving an emotional bond. It could be between new lovers, kindred souls, family members, friends, business associates, or partners. It could even relate to a project or a specific situation. This would be the perfect time to realize that all relationships are really about you. Notice when you interact with different people in your life. Are they giving you energy or taking it away? Is there an even exchange? There should be an equal balance between giving and receiving energy. Relationships are mirror images of your own life. They reflect how you feel and treat yourself and how you react and respond to versions, situations, and individuals around you. Each and every union is an opportunity for soul growth. Syllables are things. See, I know like they get me to do this sometimes now because a lot of people like they go by what the cards say. Okay? Not so much maybe by what I say, but by the cards. Okay, so the cards are just verifying what I had already said. Okay, it's the same as somebody like I tell them something and they spit fire on me and they mock me and what have you and treat me like a piece of shit almost. But then they'll go and these bigger um, ones with the bigger platforms and like some people didn't even hear of a certain or like certain people that's been out for years, but they haven't heard of them. But then because they say it, because they make the big bucks, because they have these big degrees and what have you, well, they got to know. How can you know you have nothing? Because people know themselves better than anybody else really knows them, but others will tell them, "Oh, you don't know yourself. You got to go by what I see, what I say," instead of going by what you've experienced and learned. But it's all about communication and hiding things. My ex-husband told me the thing that I did was lying by omission. But do man, I say, quite the hypocrite, and you're not living. And that's the spirit to spirit, and it's every version of. So with that being said, I'm sending you all much love, light, many blessings, most importantly, very good health to anyone and everyone wanting to live to I wish you all to be faithful, brave, most importantly, be yourself, be your authentic self. Be who you are, not who somebody else says you are or you have to be. Be true to yourself and others, be kind to yourself and others, and know that you have more strength than you can comprehend. That being said, I'm sending you all love. Have a great weekend. Get up with the Kriya,